As the person who probably wears pink shaders regularly and is always adjusting the drip, I wanted to make a definitive tier list for all the pink shaders, at least the ones I have, especially since so many guardians are going pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Pink shaders are like fine wine and not all of them mesh well with each other, but I think I figured out some good combos and accent shaders to go along with each one. And as we all know, drip is the real endgame. Irradiant Charoite. Charoite. I can't say that. Oh my gosh. Anyways, this one is pretty new. It was on sale in the store a few weeks ago. It's pretty cool because it's got the textured look a lot of the newer shaders have. It's a pretty white shader with accents of light pink and light purple. I find this one goes pretty well with the light pink of Lilac Bombast. All in all, I like this one, but it is kind of hard to match with others because of its unique appearance. I'll give this one a B. It's fresh and creative, but hard to get it right. Meditator. This one is a new one, and I like this one a lot. The shader's gray and solid pink tones go well with many other shaders, such as 𝗙𝗡𝗡 and 𝗙𝗢𝗢𝗡𝗡. One thing to note is that it does have a brown, leathering shading to it on some pieces of armor, which you may like or may not like. Some parts also shade as a very bright reddish pink. I also find that some armor pieces shade more gray than pink. I'm going to put this as a solid A tier pink shader. Malibu Bronze. Malibu Bronze is interesting because it kind of shifts as a bright fuchsia, which I'll count as a pink shader. It's very in your face, so the bright colors make it hard to match well. Lunar Gloom and Bruised Blush are good shaders to pair with this one. This one will sit at a C for me. Lion's Pride. I love Lion's Pride. This was my go-to shader for so long. It's a deep pink, leaning purple, but it goes well with so many other pink shaders because of its tone and glossy appearance. Meditator, 𝗙𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗪, and 𝗙𝗡𝗡 all look great with it, along with other blue shaders because of its hidden denim-like color when shading certain pieces. S tier for sure. Amethyst Bloom. Amethyst Bloom is okay. It's mostly dominated by this light purple tone as well as this grayish brownish neutral shade, which I find hard to match with many others aside from Bruised Blush. I definitely reach for this one the least and hardly ever use it, so it's a D. Neopop Wave. What isn't there to like in Neopop Wave? An electric hot pink offset by a deep metallic blue, as well as a chrome finish silver and a vinyl black. I find myself using the shader just for the black and gray finish sometimes. The pink is somewhat hard to match as no other pink shader runs this tone, so definitely use it as a statement. Amethyst Veil has similar black and gray hues which compare well. This one is such a classic, it has to be S tier. Bruised Blush. Like Amethyst Bloom, this shader falls flat for me. Its pinkish purplish tone is just off enough that's difficult to match with other pink shaders. The blue is also difficult to match despite it being a common shader color just because of the tone. It also has this crosshatch texture that I don't personally like and find a little too noisy. D tier. 𝗙𝗡𝗡𝗡. 𝗙𝗡𝗡𝗡 is a solid pink shader. With solid pink and purple hues, it matches nicely with most of the pink and purple shaders, as well as shaders as bright as Sunrise Warrior. I like pairing this one with 𝗙𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗡 as the deep hues in that one add just the right amount of depth to this. If anything, it could use a neutral shade to help make it a bit more well-rounded. A tier. Sunrise Warrior. Sunrise Warrior is easily my favorite pink shader in the game, toppling what was once Neopop's spot in my regard. A bright but deep metallic pink that's offset by 3 neutral colors, white, gray, and black, to draw back the loudness of the shader. It matches well with Amethyst Veil and is definitely a statement color. It's giving straight Valentino this year. S tier. Lilac Bombast. I imagine most people probably don't like the subtle green hue from the shader, but I don't mind it, as it's a pretty jade color and it's easy to cover up as it's not the most prominent hue. This was my go-to and honestly pretty much the only light pink shader before Irradiant. It pairs well with other white shaders, and the shader also gives almost a pearl-like gleam to it. A. Smashing Success. Smashing Success is like Lilac Bombast's evil twin. Doesn't even pull as pink as it looks, but more of a deep bright purple. I don't think I've ever had success with this shader in any pink drip I've made. D. 𝗙𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗡. This is an interesting shader as it's got a little bit of lore to it. I'm not usually one to spurt out Bible verses, if ever, but this one is taken from a biblical reference in Genesis 14. Let me read you this quote. "And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High God." Which makes sense, considering this shader runs very berry and wine-colored hues to it. Rainbow is one I find difficult to dislike. It matches incredibly well with itself. Reef Mate does pair nicely with brighter purple and pinks. However, because of its unique berry shades, it is also difficult to match with other shaders. A tier. Dusk and Dawn. Or is it Dawn and Dusk? I don't know. I wrote it down both ways. I can't remember. If you want to look like a package of sweet tarts, look no further than this shader. It's got bright pink and blue shades, which make it arguably the better amethyst bloom. It's offset by a bright metallic pink and blue hue, just to add to the fun. I like using this for weapons, as I find it more difficult to use with other shaders, just because it's so bright, loud, and doesn't have a neutral shade with it. B tier. Metallic Sunrise. Metallic Sunrise shades like most blueberry shaders do. Not well. However, it can match if you needed to, but chances are there's a different pink shader that can already do the job. D tier. Honorable mentions. These are just some things that I've picked up on while trying to match things to the main pink shaders, so hopefully some of these are helpful. Amethyst Veil is mainly a black and gray shader, but can shade a light pink on some of the glowing effects armor pieces. Lunar Gloom pairs really nicely with this one. I also found out recently that Sketch Paint has a bright pink glow on certain items. I haven't tried this one a lot, but it works pretty well on the Pathfinder's Helmet ornament. The armor sets from King's Fall and Prophecy, Dark Hollow, and Moonfang respectively are both naturally pink. The Moonfang set is probably my favorite armor set in the game. Anyways, I'm sure I've missed some stuff, so let me know if there's any other shaders you like or armor pieces that shade particularly well, as I'm always on the lookout for the best pink drip. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.